Hi viewers, this is Square Branch. In this video, we shall study the meaning of Oestrus circle in cattle, some basic definitions associated with Oestrus circle, and phases of Oestrus circle. Oestrus cycle in cattle is the reproductive cycle from one period of sexual receptivity or heat to the next, averaging about 21 days and ranging from 18 to 24 days. It is divided into long luteal phase dominated by progesterone and a shorter follicular phase driven by estrogen. The cycle begins with estrus, where the cow shows sexual desire and stands for mating, followed by ovulation between 24 to 32 hours later. If pregnancy does not occur, the uterus signals for the regression of corpus luteum and the cycle restarts with the rise in estrogen. The cycle is divided into four phases. The Proestrus phase lasting for 2 to 3 days, the Estrus or ovulation phase lasting for 12 hours, the Metestrus or luteal phase lasting for 3 days, and then the Diestrus phase, which is the final phase, lasting for 15 days averagely. Before I explain these various phases, let's study some basic definitions associated with estrus cycle. The term hormone is a chemical substance secreted by endocrine glands, ovaries, and uterus, transported in the blood to specific parts or targeted organs of the body. Corpus luteum. It is an endocrine gland that is formed in the ovary after an egg is released during ovulation. Its main function is to produce progesterone. Progesterone is a hormone that prepares the body for pregnancy, regulates menstrual or estrous cycle, and other bodily functions. Estrogen. It's a hormone produced mainly by the ovarian follicles that drives the estrous cycle by triggering behavior changes leading to ovulation. FSH or follicle stimulating hormone. It is produced by the anterior pituitary gland that regulates the growth and development of the reproduction system. In females, it stimulates the growth of ovarian follicles and eggs, whilst in males, it stimulates the production of sperm. Luteinizing hormone is a pituitary hormone that controls sexual development and fertility both in males and females. In females, a surge in luteinizing hormone triggers ovulation and the development of corpus luteum. In males, luteinizing hormone stimulates the testicles to produce testosterone. GnRH or gonadotropin releasing hormone is a peptide hormone produced by the hypothalamus that stimulates the pituitary gland to release luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. Let us take a closer look at detailed explanation of these various phases of the estrus cycle. A good understanding of the normal estrus cycle in cattle can help producers address reproductive challenges in both heifers. Heifers are female cattle that have not yet had a first calf. And then cows, females, cattle that have had at least one calf or birth. The Proestrus phase, lasting to 2 to 3 days, is the coming on heat Proestrus phase. The corpus luteum, which maintains high progesterone level, regresses or declines. As progesterone declines, the pre-ovulatory follicle undergoes final growth, producing a surge of estrogen, which triggers behavior changes. When this happens, there are the physical changes that you see on the cattle is the vulva or vagina may become slightly swollen and turn to a pink color. There is an increased blood flow to the reproductive tract. She may discharge clear, watery mucus from the vulva. It may exhibit behavior such as the cow may become more alert and restless. She may exhibit an increase in activity, but will not stand to be mounted by other cows. Key characteristics here: that proestrus phase precedes the estrus or standing heat stage. The pre-estrus phase comes before the standing heat stage, and it marks the beginning of the follicular phase of the estrus cycle. The primary hormone here are decreasing progesterone and increasing estrogen. The Oestrus or ovulation phase, lasting averagely 12 hours. The Oestrus or heat phase is the short period of sexual receptivity within the estrus cycle, lasting approximately 6 to 24 hours, where the cow allows a bull to mount and ovulation occurs about a day later. This phase is triggered by peak estrogen levels from a growing follicle on the ovary. At this stage also, there is hormonal changes. Before estrus, the corpus luteum, which produces progesterone, regresses, resulting to low progesterone level. The low progesterone allows a follicle to grow, secrete estrogen, and then trigger a surge of luteinizing hormone, which leads to ovulation shortly after the end of the estrus. Ovulation, which means the release of the egg, typically occurs within 24 to 32 hours after the start of the estrus cycle. What happens during this ovulation phase? The most prominent sign is the cow standing still when other cows try to mount her, which is the key indicator of a standing heat or ovulation. There is an increased activity. The cow in estrus often become restless, just like the proestrus phase. It may bellow more. You might observe clear, stingy mucus hanging from the vulva. You may also see other cows. You may see other cows around it, rubbing marks on her tail, rubbing their hair, and then rubbing their flank, their head on her flank. And other cows also try to mount her. Signs to watch for as a farmer. Look for cows mounting others if you have a stock. The crucial sign is a cow that stands to be mounted. You will see that that particular cow on heat will stand to be mounted. There will be changes in behavior, so be alert for increased restlessness. The Metestrus phase. This phase lasts for 3 days. The Metestrus phase is a short period, 3 days after estrus or heat. It is characterized by the formation of corpus luteum from the collapsed follicle after ovulation. During the Metestrus, the corpus luteum begins to produce increasing amount of progesterone, signaling the start of the luteal phase and preparing the uterus for a potential pregnancy. Though sexual receptivity is absent here. Observant producers might notice a slightly body discharge as small blood vessels in the uterus rupture during this time. The Metestrus, it is characterized by following the estrus period, and it lasts about 3 to 5 days. Ovulation occurs during the Metestrus, typically between 10 to 15 hours after the end of the estrus. Corpus luteum formation. The corpus luteum from the ruptured follicle is transitioning into corpus luteum tissue. Progesterone production begins and steadily decreases due to the development of the corpus luteum. The cow is no longer sexually receptive to the bull, and the physical sign you observe here is that a bloody vulvar discharge may also be observed due to the ruptured blood vessels in the uterus. The significance of this phase of the Metestrus is that it marks the start of the luteal phase, which is a crucial period for pregnancy maintenance. Progesterone produced during the Metestrus helps prepare the uterine lining for possible implantation of embryo. And then the high level of progesterone inhibits the release of gonadotropin, which prevents another follicle from developing and ovulating during this stage. The Diestrus, lasting for 15 days. It is the longest phase of the estrous cycle, and it is characterized by the presence of functional corpus luteum that produces the hormone progesterone. During this phase, after ovulation, the ruptured follicle transforms into the corpus luteum. And then the corpus luteum produces significant amount of estrogen, which prevents further follicle development and suppresses estrus. The progesterone maintains the uterine line, creating suitable environment for implantation of a fertilized egg. If the cow is not pregnant, the corpus luteum will begin to regress, causing progesterone level to drop. This decline in progesterone allows new follicular phase to begin, leading to estrus and ovulation. The diestrus phase is the longest stage of the estrous cycle, lasting approximately 14 to 18 days in a typical 21 days cycle. Key characteristics here at this phase: a high level of progesterone are secreted by the corpus luteum. Cows are not in heat and do not exhibit signs of sexual receptivity. The uterine lining is maintained and reorganized in preparation for a potential embryo. There is increased activity of the mammary stem cells and side branching of the mammary gland. Mammary gland is the breast, preparing them for lactation. While there are large follicles on the ovary, the dominant follicle does not grow to the size required for ovulation, and no estrous behavior occur at this stage. In summary, the estrous cycle is commonly divided into 4 parts. The post-estrous, that is coming into heat period. It marks the beginning of the follicular phase of the estrous cycle. Then the estrus, or ovulation period, the period of sexual receptivity, and it is marked by rising estrogen levels, which triggers behavior signs like standing to be mounted. Then the third phase, the Metestrus, is a short phase following standing estrus, where the ovulatory follicle ruptures to release the egg, that is ovulation. And then the fourth, the diestrus, this is the longest phase, which is also characterized by the growth and development of corpus luteum on the ovary, which produces progesterone. Thanks for viewing, and stay tuned to the next episode of this video, that is mating of cattle. Bye-bye.